Welcome back to Life and Hair, a channel about a normal middle-aged woman living her life, losing her hair, and finding good solutions to dealing with that hair loss. Because when you lose your hair, and I've been losing my hair since my teenage years really, it got worse with age. I have had to not only deal with that hair loss, but also find a way of allowing myself to wear hair without shame, dealing with the stigma of hair wearing, and going one step further in actually finding joy in hair wearing, finding joy in my femininity, my public appearance, and my private relationships. When you see me today, I am au naturel. My roots have not been dyed. You can see what my hair is. It's very frizzy. It's naturally very curly. And you can see the female pattern, baldness pattern of my hair loss. I believe it's called androgenic or androgenetic alopecia. And as the years went on, I decided to get my first piece. Since then, I have been experimenting with the pieces. I have a large collection that very recently started to fall into 3 separate categories. Those mainly being work, that sober, presentable, professional, kind of calm and collected hair. Play, and that's for my days off, for holidays, for weekends, for evenings out after work, and the Wildcard styles, which are those styles that look nothing like my natural hair, aren't even in the same colouring as my natural hair, that anybody seeing you would notice immediately, and they'd probably say, wow, what have you done to your hair? You've changed your hair. And those Wildcard ones I have experimented with in the last few years, and I have got some real extreme examples of that. I think it was last summer, I decided, after quite a severe shedding of my natural hair, I spoke to my manager and I said to her that I was going to start wearing hair to work. She was only a youngster. She's the same age as my eldest daughter at the time. I think she was 28. She kind of coached me through those difficult feelings that I was experiencing, because I always had my hair up in a ponytail and caught like this in the back. And this was the look that I wore to work for years. We wrote an email and it was distributed to the team, and I have been wearing hair to work ever since. I'm very lucky that the women that I work with are very accepting, supportive, understanding. They're mature women, women of the world, women who know and appreciate that life is hard and full of challenges that we need to creatively overcome. And often in that process, we develop as a person. We have to push our own personal boundaries and to a large extent actually reinvent ourselves. So this is my look currently. This is my spring look. Now that I've started wearing hair for work, I can't imagine myself ever going back really. It's very difficult, isn't it, to present yourself looking quite different at work. These are the sort of styles that I would have at work. The shortest I would go would be Reese by Noriko. But certainly, Reese by Noriko is very good. If necessary, I would wear a hairband, which would keep her kind of on the professional side. It would make her less boofy, more low density, and exactly how I would want her to be inconspicuous. I want to look professional. I mean, obviously I wouldn't have this glittery makeup. I would never have this glittery makeup at work, and I'm not allowed to wear long nails and nail polish at work. I want my team to take me seriously and my clients to focus on what I'm saying rather than be distracted about anything unusual going on with me. I think actually I might wear her when I go back to work next week. I've never worn Reese to work yet, but she does fall into the category of work hair. And notice the speed at which I am working, ladies. Not only am I now an old hand, but these styles, I mean, they can't get any easier to work with. Alva, perfect for work. And again, should I wish to have her under control a little bit more? Very natural, very normal. It's amazing really with Alva because she's got so much permatease. You can get so much out of her look. Look at that natural movement. The key to a good piece for work is put on and go, and you don't think about it for the rest of the day. I want something where I can just treat it like it's my natural hair, move it around, touch it like I normally would my natural hair. It falls straight back into place. Absolutely no problems with it whatsoever. And can I say, look at those layers. Because this one is honey rooted, it is a slightly lighter colour. And of course, she is heat friendly. And what I like to do is I like to get my straightening tongs at the right temperature and just straighten out those fronts a little bit. She can look extremely different, and this is what I mean. You go to work, if you weren't wearing wigs, you'd have your hair in a different style from time to time. Sometimes I may want to curl this, and sometimes I may want to straighten her a little bit. And may I make the point at this juncture, the people that I work with have always known me as a brunette. Okay, I have grey roots sometimes. I'm mainly a brunette. They know me. I've got brown eyes and olive skin. The collection that I'm showing you, this work collection, is conducive to keeping that brunette idea alive. You don't want people to be alarmed and surprised when you walk into the office. You want them to notice maybe you've got a slightly different style, but it's Karima. They know it's Karima. They can see who it is. So this is the honey rooted. Very easy to wear in a band and very easy to wear up. Very respectable, very presentable, very natural, and it's still me. It's still recognizably me. But the one thing that I find is quite different about Flame Rooted that I have to think about is that she has got a root of 4. Now my natural hair colour has always been around an 8. And this isn't really a medium brown, it's a darker brown. So I have to think about what I'm doing. I don't always go into the office and I don't always see colleagues, but I always see clients. So if clients have never seen me before, I can wear this, that's not a problem. I can kind of wear it to the office too. But the one thing that I have to keep in mind for work is a client may ring up the office and say, I saw one of your staff members, I can't remember her name, but she sort of had brown hair and brown eyes. And usually they say she had a very soft voice. And I think that the admin team would recognize me from that description. That's what I'm trying to achieve with my work hair collection. Have a little bit of a closer look at this colour. Yummy. This is Raquel Welsh. This one is called Real Deal. Real Deal has got a lace front. She is actually a bob, but she's a short bob with a blunt bottom to her. It's wonderful, really. She does get into my work hair collection simply because everybody knows the Raquel Welsh lace fronts are fantastic. What do you think? It's a very modern style. She's just plain old beautiful. So professional looking. I absolutely adore her. Now look, you could very easy tuck this behind your ear, you know, but I don't want to have to go to the mirror and check. I don't want to check anything at work. It's extremely busy. In fact, it's almost, I'd say, chaotic at work. I want to put something on my head and go. Still falls within the recognizable identity of myself. Now, do you see the similarity? There's a little bit more of a wave in Parker, but very similar lengths. And the lace front has passed the work hair collection test. I don't think that this lace front is really conspicuous. And again, it's a wear and go. You just put her on and she kind of stays looking fabulous all day. There's nothing to manage around your neck. The lace front, it can look after itself. The style doesn't need to be tweaked or anything. It would definitely pass the realism test and the professional presentation test. I would be very happy to. You know, putting these ones on now, I haven't worn them for a while because, you know, I've only been wearing hair at work for a few months, since the summer. I had actually started with toppers initially. I'd started with toppers and I found that my toppers were a little bit long and I didn't want to manage the length. Not in the office, no thanks. No thanks, no thanks. I know exactly what I want from my wig in the office. I want her to be hardworking, conscientious, professional, sober, and doesn't have to be supervised all the time. Now for my downtime, my needs are very different. I want something more feminine, a little bit more sexy, a little bit longer perhaps. And I can afford to play around with those colours. This one you can find at Continental Wigs, and I would like to say that they do worldwide shipping. Caramel Root. Not only is it a lighter colour, but it's also a much redder colour. This glorious, glorious strawberry blonde colour. When you look at the colour chart on the website, Caramel Root comes under blonde. And there is a lot of blondes in this. But if I was doing the colour chart, she would also come under red. She's a mouth-watering strawberry blonde as far as I can see. She has got golden blondes, golden red, stroke auburn, and an ashy blonde. And as your hair journey continues, sometimes inadvertently you come across a new colour that you normally wouldn't buy for yourself. Somehow or other it comes into your hands and you think, what have I been doing all this time? I could have been a strawberry blonde for the last few years. What have I been wasting my time being a brunette for? Especially when it's downtime. So this is fun hair, date hair, going out for the day, going to lunch with a friend, maybe even, you know, attending a birthday celebration. By goodness, a wedding, mother of the bride. Beautiful worn up, beautiful, beautiful worn up. So Larissa, I don't want to take her off. I'm such a playful number. Can you guess? The colour is Macadamia LR and she's a Noriko. Seville. easy to wear style with an amazing fringe. I'm just pressing that metal stay to make the fringe come down a little bit better. I curled that fringe in because I don't really want to have her sticking out in any way. A lovely root, transitioning so effortlessly, so glamorously, so youthfully into this sort of sandy blonde colour. Absolutely glorious. You know, sometimes I think I really must develop my ability to describe the feelings of delight and pleasure and surprise, because I say the same things over and over in this channel. Beautiful, gorgeous, glorious, fantastic, amazing. I've been saying these words since 2019, every single week of my life. That's the pleasure and the joy that Wigs has brought to me. I really want to get Seville in Crimson LR. Do you guys know that colour? I haven't told you, I don't think. I found out the wig company that I ordered Dolce from sent me an email and said that Dolce is no longer available. They'd have to order her from Paris and it might take up to 12 weeks. So I'm very disappointed. But I think if that root colour is right, I might actually see if Steve can stretch to getting her for me in Crimson LR. If the root colour is right. Every time I put one of my play wigs on, my play collection, I don't want to take them off again. Now, the next one I'm going to get is an oldie but a goodie. She was the second wig I ever bought. And she is dry. She's dry. She definitely needs to have that deep conditioning treatment that I put on. But even with the deep conditioning treatment, they're all right for a little while and then they get very dry again. And by the way, this is Giselle by Renau. I don't know what the solution is. Now, the reason that I have included Giselle in my favourite play collection is because she's big hair. She's really big hair with an amazing monofilament top. The whole top is monofilament, so natural looking. Any way you want to part this girl, she is going to succumb to your request. Layered, glamorous, big hair. Yeah, I kind of feel like a bit of a lioness in this piece. Who doesn't want to go out looking like they have got a natural mane of hair on their head? If I was to get dressed up, I like to buy little bits and pieces of clothing here and there throughout the month. You know, all dressed up with some really nice shoes and some amazing earrings, for example, like these. I think Steve would have something to say. I think he'd be pleased, which would make me pleased, because with the play collection, we enter into the arena of looking like ourselves, but glamorous and romantic and exciting. Yeah, I want to be that exciting person sometimes. I love it when I come downstairs and Steve kind of takes a double look, because I look so different to how I normally look. So this is Giselle. These are styles that make me look very different. This one is Gabor, Sweet Talk. Now, while I'm kind of calming her down a bit, let me explain about Sweet Talk. When I looked at the reviews, there was a lot of talk, a lot of sweet talk, that you didn't really know what you were going to get quite with this. Sometimes the curl pattern was curly, Sometimes it was much straighter and sometimes it was wavy. In my personal opinion, this one, it's a bit crazy. It's not quite wavy, but it does go in lots of different directions. And I'm not altogether sure that I appreciate that. Okay, so I've tried to sort of make the curl pattern a little bit more cohesive. And you can see she's a bob. She, personally speaking, I feel that she has an aging effect on me. When I first got this piece, it was the lightest hair I'd ever worn. So it did take a lot of getting used to, but I call her my Wildcard. I've worn this style out once just to go and get a bagel and then back home again. I didn't feel very comfortable wearing this style. Let's just get a little bit of volume in her to see what I think now. You can wear her tucked behind your ear. You can wear this down. It has got a side monofilament part. The lace front is very good. She has a little bit of vegetation in her. That must be from 2021. I would have to think twice before putting this piece on and going out. One, because of the colour. She's very, very different to my natural and normal regular hair colour. Second is the wave pattern. I don't feel that she's particularly consistent with the wave pattern. She's definitely a wild card. She's not the wildest card in the team. My wild card collection, she's not the wildest card. But she's definitely a wild card. I've always liked myself in shorter bobs because I've got a long neck. I feel that I can carry it off. It kind of, but I must always try and remember my posture. What do you think, ladies? What do you think of Sweet Talk on me in this colour? Let me know. This is a Rene of Paris. I think it's still in production and she is Ray. Let's see. Let's see what we've got with Ray. I always tend to tuck Ray back a little bit. I think she looks better like that. I will never forget putting Ray on for the first time and seeing myself in this blonde. The root is a nice brown, it's an 8, it's not too dark, so that was very acceptable to me. Yeah, Ray. Again, I haven't had a lot of wear out of Ray. I think that I have always wanted to have hair that kind of wasn't too much in the wild card part. But actually, when I put these on, even Sweet Talk, I think she's got so much potential. I ask myself sometimes, why don't I wear these pieces? It's not that I don't like her. It's that she's just very different. I do love this melted marshmallow colour though. I love her. I'm fascinated by her. But she doesn't fill me with that joy and excitement. Maybe I'm missing something. Please tell me if I am, because I'd love to know. I'd love to know also whether any of you ladies have got the Wildcard wigs. And the wildest card in the whole collection is Solstice. Obviously this hair is made primarily for black women, but you saw what my own hair was like when I brushed it out. And actually the lace is quite light, so I thought maybe I could try and give it a go and see what I think. I haven't cut the lace, I've just pushed it back a little, so you must excuse that lace. You know, when I bought this one, I had bought a backless dress and it was summer. I'd lost quite a lot of weight and I just thought I'd like to go full out into fantasy land here. I've never worn her, I've never cut the lace, I have no idea if this root is too dark. I think it's about a 4. I always think that you should have something in your collection that is just for you. I don't know whether I'll ever wear this style out. I wanted to show her to you because I think she's pretty special. This style is just for me. Even if I don't wear her for a full day, every now and again I just want to wear her and run my fingers through the textured strands and just appreciate that butterscotch colour, the highlights, the rooting, the fluffiness. Yeah, I don't altogether understand why I keep hold of this, but keep hold of it I will, because who knows, maybe just the right occasion is going to come along. Maybe I'm going to be going to a party and I want to dress up. Maybe I want to go 70s. Maybe I want to get a really high pair of platform shoes and, you know, some slinky number and some outrageous jewelry. And maybe I'm going to want to wear Solstice, and she is going to remain in my collection until such a time. I just know in my water that such a time is going to come, and no sooner do I get rid of her than do I want to have her back. I've spoken to you today about a subject that I just wanted to talk through. I don't have anybody here, and Steve isn't going to want to listen. He's in one ear, out of the other. In fact, it doesn't even go into that ear, it just bounces back out. I wanted to talk about the different kind of collections that we find in our wig closet that can be broadly separated into work, play, and wildcard. And I just wanted to go through every piece to talk through it, to remind myself that I had it, to bring it out further out of that wig closet so that I can start to wear it again. So thank you very much for listening, and thank you so much for your support on here with the comments, on Instagram. I'm delighted with every one of you, and I will see you again soon.